Hello everybody and welcome back to another ForgeCraft the Modpack with me, TechnoJock. It's PneumaticCrfat time. I have started populating this area over here with a little bit of PneumaticCrfat stuff, but I haven't gone too far because I wanted you guys to come on the journey with me. So, I am very unfamiliar with the new plastic setup. I've used PneumaticCrfat a few times before, a good few times before actually, and had a lot of fun with it. So I know about the compressor things exploding if they get too much pressure in them. I know about using the pressure chamber, and I've got a few tricks to show you with that as well. But I was always familiar with using the funny little plant seeds that you would get scattered about the world and would get everywhere, and using them to make the plastics through the plastic chamber. Now, I do actually have some of those seeds. I got them from treasure chests and stuff when going about. Pretty sure they're in there, yeah. So I could actually use these. I could be pretty cheaty and use these. And as you can see, I've actually made some plastic as well during the course of my testing, but very, very small amount. Because, as I say, I want you guys to come on this journey with me. So as you can see, I've managed to get some oil and put it into a portable tank. There was some oil just over that way, and I just got a little bit of oil, and it actually makes quite a bit of these various liquids. So let's go through this in order. We have got 4 of these regular, normal, common garden air compressors. This is your starting tier solid fuel burning. There is a liquid fuel one that you can make straight off the bat as well, that you can use virtually any liquid in, but we'll cover that in a second. So we've got these 4 solid fuel ones here running off the charcoal from over at the turbines. Now, what I've discovered is, we've got one ender chest sitting on one of the lines, on the last one there, the boiler and steam setup there. But because the amount of charcoal that system uses and how much it can produce, we can only support 4, maybe 5 air compressors before it actually starts using up too much fuel. And we'd start depriving our turbine over there, and we definitely don't want to lose heat in the boiler over there. So 4 is okay at the moment. It doesn't quite have enough pressure or it doesn't have quite enough of these to be able to build up a decent pressure with what we're doing just now, but that will come in time. Now, to control these and stop them from blowing up, these ones are actually set to look at the redstone behavior and enable on a high signal. I prefer using enable on a high signal. I see a lot of people use enable on low, and then they have a signal going round this redstone signal here, this pressure gauge tube. There's a reason why it's pointing at the floor. There's a pressure gauge tube here, and it emits a redstone signal. You can see in Whaler there, it emits a redstone signal of 4 currently, because it's not quite at 2.5. The signal is 2 times the pressure in bar. So, because it's not quite at 2.5, it's registering just over 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. Amazing, my maths is getting better. So it's pointing at the floor because there's a redstone detector from Steve's Factory Manager is that block. It's disguised as a canvas block. So that's pointing directly into that. So Steve's Factory Manager is reading a value of 2 there. But if we have a look, what it's really doing is it's waiting for a value of 8. So 8 divided by 2. So it's waiting for a pressure of 4. Because we don't want it to get much above that. We could go up to a redstone value of 9, which would be 4.5, but if these things continue to burn the bit of fuel, they don't stop immediately, they'll continue down this little progress bar. So if it just starts another bit of fuel as it gets to 4.5, it can continue to build up a little bit of pressure, and with 4 of them on the system, we don't want to accidentally just stopping at 4.5 but continuing on for a little bit and getting up to 5. So that's why that's there. And then if it's got a true condition, it turns the emitter off, which is very easy. It's just that emitter set to an output of 0, and this one is emitter on, and it's set to emit a value of 15. So that's fine. It's important to remember with the redstone emitters, you've got to do an on and an off one. You can't just assume because you're not doing an on it's going to turn off. It sticks in the position it was last at. So you must have an on and an off. And normally I would use the redstone controlled conditioner, but it doesn't seem to be working particularly reliably. So this way of doing it is just as good. So as you can see, we've got our pipe, and it goes down and it goes below the floor, and it goes all the way over here, and then it splits and comes over to our pressure chamber and also into this thing. Now I left this setup in place here because I wanted to make a recommendation to you. When running these lines, it's very easy to stick an extra pipe on, and then suddenly you've got a pipe into nothing and all your air escapes. So when you're running a long line of stuff, it's very you're putting pipes down and pipes down, pipes down all the time. Your air's escaping, and these things are slow. You don't want to have to build up your pressure again because it'll take quite a long time, particularly if you're running a large size pressure chamber like I am. So what to do is put a loop in. If you put a loop in at some point, then by the time you get up to here, this will still have pressure in it, because if you knock off one of the pipes, if you have a pipe that's, imagine a pipe going out to this direction way over here, if you knock off this pipe here, that system will be open and vent out, but this one will just close up into this loop. It'll sort of close up back into itself. So if you can see what I mean there, it's very good to have a loop in the system. Unlike with things like some pipes like BuildCraft energy pipes or things, it's very bad to have a loop. These ones, it's actually good to have a loop. So in any case, we have attached to the end here 2 of these vortex tubes. You'll see one side is red and one side is actually not any colour at the moment, but it would be normally blue because there's a hot side and a cold side. And as you can see in Whaler there, the cold side is sitting at 4 degrees at the moment, and the hot side is sitting at 173. So it's doing quite nicely at the moment. Now these things take a fair bit of pressure to actually run, which is why this system is taking a long time to get up to pressure. Now I dread that these things work better if both sides are loaded. So this side is loaded because it's heating this refinery, and this side is cooled because I've put on a couple of heat sinks. Heat sinks are pretty easy to make. They're just some iron bars, golden compressed steel. And these can be put onto a number of different things. They can be put onto some of the higher tier compressors as well to cool them down. So they're pretty cool. No pun intended. So this refinery thing that we're heating up is a multi-block. It can be from 2 to 4 blocks high. It must be at least 2 high, and then you feed oil into it, and it can be, I think, any of the oils, but certainly BuildCraft oil works for it. And you just pipe it in anywhere onto it. It can go in the top or the sides, or I'm presuming from the bottom. I haven't tried, but we put in oil and it goes into this, and then the hull temperature is heated up by those vortex tubes or another source. I must note that it can be even heated with the advanced versions of the compressors that produce heat, or it can even be heated with lava. If you do heat it with lava, though, it will turn the lava source block into obsidian and flowing blocks into cobble or smooth stone. So it's not an infinite way of heating it. So you would have to come up with some sort of system to replace that lava. So the renewable way is to use vortex tubes or the advanced compressors. But in any case, you get it up to temperature, and once it gets over 100 degrees, that's where that little arrow is, it starts changing the crude oil into its constituent oils that we need something to do. It cracks it. Actually, it distills it, doesn't it? It doesn't crack it. Anyway, So it starts off with the heaviest one is diesel, then it goes to kerosene, gasoline, and LPG. Now, as far as I can tell, kerosene isn't currently used for very much, or in fact it's only used for one thing, and that's for turning into more gasoline. These oils you can take and put into a refinery block, which I don't have sitting there. No, I don't have it on me. And what happens is you can take the diesel and you can refine it down and crack it down into kerosene. Kerosene will turn into gasoline, and gasoline will turn into LPG. Now, LPG is the stuff that you need to be able to make plastics, and gasoline is pretty handy for running a generator on, as you can imagine. Kerosene, not so handy for anything, and diesel can be made into the lubrication fluid, which, if we do lube, these things are used for making the speed upgrades for PneumaticCrfat now. It used to be cake back in my day, back when this were all fields, that was cake, but now it's this lubricant bucket which you get. If we go there we go, yeah, diesel with redstone additive into it makes this lubricant. So, oh, there we go, we can have a look at the thermopneumatic processing plant, that's what it is, it's not a refinery. So, your LPG with coal makes liquid plastic, great. Your diesel with the redstone makes the lubricant, which we've already covered. Diesel with nothing in it goes to kerosene, and then kerosene with nothing in it goes to gasoline, and then gasoline again can go to LPG, which is fine. So there's a bit of loss, obviously. So it's only 80% efficient for that one. It looks like it's similar for that and that. Yeah, it looks like it's all. That's 100% efficient for doing the conversion that way, and that's very efficient for that, for making plastics. So that's good. And I think it takes a 1,000 millibuckets of liquid plastic to make a bit of plastic, a sheet of plastic. So that covers that at the moment. We do need to come up with some way of getting this fluid into the thermal plastic generator thingbob that we were just looking at, and also we need the plastic mixer sorted out as well, and also, yeah, that covers that. Also, we're wanting to have a look at our pressure chamber wall. Now we've got a little box here, that's fine. You'll note, however, you can see the valve on the bottom. I don't have any pressure chamber interfaces in this at all. Why don't I have any pressure chamber interfaces in this? Because I'm cheating outrageously with Steve's Factory Manager. You'll note I'm trying to walk into this block and I am failing miserably because there's an invisible block here. There's a couple of invisible blocks there. Let's have a look. Steve's Factory Manager again, it's my go-to extremely good method of automating this stuff. So we've got our access area under here. Here's the redstone control for the rest of the generators there, and here's where our pipe comes along. Nice little access area. So what's Steve's Factory Manager doing for us? Well, we have got a very small amount of stuff in here, just a small trigger that's taking from that box. It will take from our AE once we get it hooked in shortly. And then it's outputting to a rapid item valve. I was using a block gate earlier on, but there's issues with that we'll go into. And that rapid item valve is camouflaged. So if I clear the camo, you'll see they are there, and that is why you could not see them. But why didn't I do them like the camouflage that I have done before, where you can walk through it like we had up on our altar? Well, the item valve, like the block gate that we were using over there for pushing items into and through walls and through the crystal growth accelerator through here, the problem with that is it will try and go to the closest, pop out the closest block rather than force it through a wall. So if this is got no bounding box in it, if it's got no collision, then it can just pop out into the block where the item valve is. So it pops out on this side of the wall. But if you keep the collision detection on, if we go here, if you keep this full collision on, then the whole block still counts as a solid block. It's invisible, but it counts as a solid block, so it will still pop into the chamber. So if we close that, and I get, what shall we get? Well, nothing much is going to happen at the moment, because we also have this. For getting things out of here, we're doing a similar thing to over at the Crystal Growth Accelerator, and we've got a transfer node. So obviously I was testing and throwing stone in there, and it has picked it out. And we only need 2 world interaction upgrades, because there's only a range of 2 from the center where the node is. It'll pick up 1 interaction node, we'll get, or 1 interaction upgrade, we'll get the center bit, and then 2 gets as far as the outside windows and edge of the thing. So what I want to do is, if I get, for testing purposes, if I get some creeper plant seeds or something, have I got any creeper plant seeds? No, I don't. I don't want to use them really for that. What can I put in there? I could put in, oh, I know what I'll do. If I get compressed iron, and if I make a block of it, and then if I get normal iron and make a block of it, and we come over here, we want to filter this, because we don't want it, oh, I've got the filter on me, we don't want it just pulling stuff out, because this will pull anything out at the moment. So we only want it to pull out blocks of compressed iron, say, at the moment. We don't want it to pull out blocks of iron. Right? So, it does help if I put the filter in. Let's put our filter in there. And let's put a block of iron in here. Boop. There it goes, and it's in there. Now, if we go and have a look, this needs to be up at 2 bar of pressure before it's going to do anything. Need that to kind of be off then. Let me dig up my floor a little bit, because we don't have enough air in the system at the moment to be able to cope with that, and I need a pipe or tube. Let's get a tube. Let's get a few tubes and do this thing that I said about having a loop in the system. So we've got a loop in the system here. So when I break this pipe, then this will just be an L shape. That's fine. There's not going to be any air escape there, and this one's going to be a loop system here. So if I go, there we go. Now this will pressurize much quicker because we're not draining. See how quickly that's losing pressure? That's how much pressure is being drained from these compressors all the time that this is running. So this will pressurize a fair bit quicker now. Yeah, it's gaining in pressure. And we should see this block, take my magnet off because it's not helping. It's not going to come through the wall, but it's not helping. So we're at 2 bar, just about. Once it pops over to 2.0 bar, or 2.1 bar rather, from that, it will turn into a block of compressed iron, and then that filter will allow the block through. There we go, did it right there. So if we pop down here, we'll see that our block of compressed iron is there. Excellent. So now we've got that working. We don't need to ever use TNT to explode normal iron to make into compressed iron, which is great. One thing I will do is I will teach my system here that 1 block of compressed iron equals 9 normal iron because we're only going to be making blocks of iron. Because for other recipes over here, and I'm thinking of the printed circuit boards in particular, printed circuit boards require an ingot of compressed iron. Now, if I teach this how to make ingots of compressed iron and tell it to pull out ingots, as soon as I put them in, they're going to pop back out again. So unless I put in a huge amount that's not all going to be taken out at once, I'm not going to ever manage to make any PCBs in there. And I definitely wanted to make PCBs in there, and I want to make PCBs in there as quickly as possible. So I made this ME interface terminal as well, so I don't need to keep on going up here and filling up the interfaces manually. If nothing else, I don't know where all of them are. So yeah, that one's empty, and oh, that one's got a couple in it, and that one's got a fair amount in it, and that one's gonna. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that. So we've got this ME interface, so we can just go through and see what is where. So we've actually got a fair bit of stuff in that iron chest one, and we've got loads free there, so that should be good for the moment. So now we know how our system knows how to make compressed iron ingots. So we've got 2 blocks of compressed iron there. So if I say I want 10, it's going to do this, and it's going to make 18, and we don't have any blocks anymore, but we do have a bunch of compressed iron there. Fantastic. Let's go back over here. Now, I don't really need this on at this moment, so I'm not going to connect it back up. What I will do is I will block that bit, do that, kill him, because he's going to annoy me. Right, when I do want to connect this back up, I can go back under there and I can connect up to that one there, like that. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I can, I want to get rid of that. Ooh, I'm going to have to lose some air here. Mind you, this system's unpressurized at the moment, so it doesn't matter. And I need to get that out of there. Okay, that'll be fine. Close this up now. In fact, I can take this loop off now. There we go. That's fine. That tidies that up an awful lot. Okay. So we need to get this hooked up. So let's have a look over here and see what we need to do. Now, from what I've seen, Steve's Factory Manager seems to have problems with interfaces unless they're on the actual manager block. So we'll pop that one there, and that'll be for things getting outputted into the system. And then we will have a chest under here for things getting inputted into the system, like that. Now we can't open it, unfortunately, anymore, but what we can do is we can go like that, and that's going to be our input. So the wooden chest and the iron chest are going to be inputs. Let's do this. Now we could actually, we'll just do it this way. Okay, so that's our camouflage. That's for putting stuff into the system. So we're also going to have the chest there. That'll be fine. And then for outputting, so we're going to put that there. We're going to go from that and put it into the interface. And then that should be us. So this time, when we go and get ourselves some iron block, one thing I haven't done actually, let's do it this way around as well, so we can make iron blocks. And we'll put that in the system. No, not that. There we go. So now it knows how to make iron blocks to make into the compressed. So that's going to go in there. It's going to pop into there. Is it already gone? It looks like it's already gone. If we look in here, where's it gone? Okay. Is it here? Aha, it's in there. Right, so that's not being pulled out by Steve's Factory Manager. I wondered about that. I did wonder about that. Okay, well, we need some transfer node pipe then, and just put it through and into the interface. Yeah? Yeah? That'll work. Okay, let's get some transfer pipe. And let's get some cable as well. We need some white cable. Some smart cable, that'll do. And some pipe. We don't have any transfer pipe over here. Let's go get some from the exchange box. And we will have to teach our system this at some point soon. But it doesn't matter just now. That should be plenty. Oops. Flying fail. And we'll get this sorted out. Now, I don't want to block up our doorway. Let's go under. Let's go under like that, and let's go in like that, in like that, in like that. Oh, I need a stick. Or I need to go under more. That'll be easier. Let's go. Ugh. No, I need a stick. Right, let's get a stick. Can't get by that way. Do I have any sticks? Probably not. Definitely need to learn how to make sticks. Like that, and then that can go there. Doesn't really matter where it goes, but I like to keep things a little bit organised. Not that that is hugely organised at the moment, but it will come in time. Right, that should be fine now. Now, it's no longer in there. I've got no idea what's in there. I'll bet there's something. Mind you, it takes everything from that. Is there iron in there? No, there is not. Where is my... Ah, I took it out, of course, didn't I? So if I put... This will just go straight through. If I put that in there, goes straight in and through and out, and should be in here. It is! Hurrah! Brilliant. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, I can do that, and I can bring our smart cable over and go into there and there. And again, I want to be below the floor a little bit. And like this. There. Brilliant. So that's two of those lit up perfectly. And yep, rest of the system's online. And now we should be able to access this and say to it that a block of iron, which we will need to craft, yep, one block of iron in a processing pattern. Actually, let's take our block of iron. Oh no, we've got one block of iron in a processing pattern will turn into one block of compressed iron. Let's take that and put it into our interface here, which will be the second chest. I think it'll be in there. Let's have a look and double check. because we've got 2 that now go into normal chests. It should go into this one here. So if we do that, there it is. Now the system knows how to deal with that. Now if we have a look over here, it will now show up. So it was in the first one. Okay, but that's fine. We can use this from now on because we now know, because that's got the compressed iron block in it, that the rest of these are things for the compressor. So if we go in here and we go iron, and we want another block of compressed iron, let's make 2, and if we run over quickly, we might even see it pop in. No, maybe it was too quick to see. If we run back over, we will see. Hello? Yep, we've now got 3 blocks of compressed iron. And in actual fact, if we were to do it that way, we could have actually just ordered individual compressed iron blocks. That is a working build. That is fantastic. And of course, we can manually just bung stuff in to this box and it will be compressed up. Now what we will need to watch for is that we need to do stuff with that filter. So anything that we add in, we do need to put into the filter, because otherwise it won't get picked up. But other than that, I think that's a good wrapping up point for the day. And next time we are going to see if we can get on to actually making some plastics with this thing, because we've got the compressed stuff working through the chamber. It's time to get plastics on the go, and then we're wanting PCBs on the go. So until then, cheery bye and have a funs.